Before delving into the subject of what happened to a Nazi soldier, it's important to contextualize that historical period in which he lived. During World War II, Nazi Germany committed some of the worst atrocities in human history, including the genocide of 6 million Jews, as well as millions of other minority groups such as Roma, LGBT+ individuals, and people with disabilities. The Nazi regime was responsible for the deaths of over 70 million people, including soldiers and civilians. In today's video, we will be showing you what happened to this Nazi soldier. Without further ado, let's begin. With this in mind, it's difficult to think of a Nazi soldier as a victim. But the reality is that many soldiers were drafted into the military against their will or joined out of a sense of duty to their country. In many cases, these soldiers were not aware of the full extent of the Nazi regime's atrocities or were indoctrinated into a belief system that dehumanized certain groups of people. That being said, there are still consequences for being complicit in such atrocities. So what happened to this Nazi soldier? It's important to note that even those soldiers who were not directly involved in committing atrocities may have still been complicit in the larger system of oppression and violence that defined the Nazi regime. This is a difficult and nuanced issue that requires careful consideration and reflection. One aspect of this issue is the concept of collective guilt. In the aftermath of World War II, there was a widespread belief that all Germans bore some responsibility for the atrocities committed by the Nazi regime, regardless of their individual actions. This belief was reflected in the Allied policy of denazification, which sought to root out Nazi ideology and supporters from all aspects of German society. While this policy was well-intentioned, it had some unintended consequences. Many Germans who had not been directly involved in Nazi activities were unfairly punished or ostracized. This contributed to a sense of victimhood and resentment among some segments of the German population, which in turn fueled the rise of far-right movements in later years. There are countless stories of Nazi soldiers who were captured and punished for their actions during the war. Many were tried for war crimes and crimes against humanity, and some were executed for their role in carrying out the orders of the Nazi regime. However, there is one story in particular that has gained attention in recent years. In 1945, a young German soldier named Willy Hubner was captured by Soviet forces and sent to a prisoner of war camp. He spent several years in captivity, during which time he witnessed the horrors of the Soviet prison system. Hubner eventually returned to Germany, but his experiences left a profound impact on him. He became a pacifist and spent the rest of his life working for peace and reconciliation between Germany and its former enemies. Hubner's story is a powerful example of the capacity for change and redemption, even in the aftermath of such atrocities. It's easy to demonize Nazi soldiers as irredeemable monsters, but the reality is that many were victims of circumstance or were caught up in a belief system that they didn't fully understand. Of course, this doesn't excuse their actions, but it does highlight the importance of understanding the complex factors that contributed to the rise of Nazi Germany and the atrocities committed during the war. It also underscores the need for continued efforts to promote peace and reconciliation, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable differences. In the end, the story of what happened to this Nazi soldier is a reminder that even in the darkest moments of human history, there is still hope for a better future. It's up to us to learn from the past and work towards a more peaceful and just world, where the atrocities committed during World War II are never repeated. So guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. For more interesting content, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video.